Great. I'm going to assume that we're a go here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rick Reese, health coach with HMR. And thank you for watching us tonight. Joining me, I have Shane, I have Sharon, and I have Gwen. Hello, team. How's everyone doing tonight?
Hi, Rick. Hi, ladies.
Great.
We are excited about this conversation. We had a conversation earlier and last week, and I think that we have a lot to talk about that I think will be of interest to our community. But I will say, Sharon and Gwen, you're here tonight in large part because you, Shane, arranged for this. And I'm just wondering if you, before we start, what had you thinking this was a good idea to get Sharon and Gwen on the feed with us on Facebook Live?
Well, a few weeks back, you had West Coast Sharon on, and
yes,
she threw out a little kudos to me and said that I had helped inspire her. So I wanted to invite some folks from my clinic that had inspired me along the way, and some fantastic examples of long-term success with HMR. So Sharon, she and I have had many classes together, and then I heard about Gwen and I just had to meet her. Unfortunately, it was virtually, but once I heard Gwen's story, I knew she had to be here with us one night. So I'm so happy that they were able to join us tonight. Ladies, thank you for coming. Rick, thank you for hosting. And thank you all of those in the community for tuning in to watch us tonight. And hopefully you get some benefit from this. And sit back because we've got like 4 hours blocked out.
Oh, God.
And,
yeah, once you flip the switch, Sharon won't stop. So we'll put aside some time here. Well, we've titled this event "Living My Best Life with HMR." Actually, Sharon, you sort of inspired that title. But I will, before we get into that, Shane, I thought you just introduced a potential alternate title that I thought could infuse a little levity to start here. What might be an alternate title for the discussion tonight?
Well, you know, the two good-looking guys here, but we're follically challenged. So I said we should retitle it "The Bald Along with the Beautiful." So
right. That's right. So pick the title that you like. But in terms of living my best life with HMR, obviously that refers to the higher quality of life that people tend to experience when they make positive changes to their lifestyle. But I will say best life is quite a statement. That's like putting a pretty high standard out there, and for good reason. Clearly, there are huge benefits that come along with developing healthier lifestyle habits. But the reality is it does require a lot of focus, a lot of commitment. It requires a lot of time and effort. So during our conversation here, guys, I'm hoping that we can get at two things through the course of the discussion. What does it mean to be, quote unquote, living your best life? I think everyone may have their own definition of that, which is perfect. But also I'd like to make sure we talk about why is it worth it to make the investment in making positive lifestyle changes? Why is all of that time, energy, and commitment worth it? So I think that we will be looking to explore both of those issues. Shane, I'm still waiting for the feed to come up. I'm wondering if you can see the feed.
It just shows me live on Facebook in the corner of the broadcast here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there are people that I can welcome to the broadcast, but I'm having a little bit of difficulty getting the live feed to come up. Let me just see. Well, I know that Sandy is in the comments, so thank you, Katie, for letting me know that. So maybe Sandy can be commenting along here. Sometimes it takes just a little bit of time. Oh, everything okay? Can't see it yet. I guess we haven't gone live yet, guys. Katie just texted me. Wonder what happened.
I don't know. It's showing me record and live on Facebook.
That's what mine goes.
Yeah, I see it too. It says recording live on Facebook.
Okay. We thought we were live. Okay, I guess we aren't. Let me get Katie on the phone here. Does say live on Facebook. So she says she can't see it. Don't you
Lydia
love
says-
technology, guys? Hey, it's telling us that we're live on Facebook. And you're saying you're not seeing it? Well, I don't understand.
Yeah, Lydia just texted me and said that she can't see it either.
Lydia can't see it either. So I think I have to start over again, Katie. It says, Shane sees it too. It says recording and it says live on Facebook. I'm going to stop the live stream. All right.
Yeah.
He's stopping there. I'm gonna see.
And just repeat all the steps again. Darn it.
Look, if I look at, I want to look at them.
You guys, they do say practice makes perfect. So
Maybe it's in there, I can look at that.
I don't get it.
Yeah, because I want to look at Gwen.
it says live on Facebook and it said recording. So we'll do it again. As Bill O'Reilly says, we'll do it live. Okay.
I even looked in the group and everywhere and nothing.
Okay, well, I'm cursed.
Oh.
I am just cursed.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What's this game? All right, I'm going to go live. You ready? Katie? Going live, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, starting again. Setting up your meeting on Facebook. Okay. It's the same screen that I saw before. So I'm not sure if we're live right now. Let's give it a shot and see. Well, hopefully we're live. I'm Rick Reese. I'm a health coach with HMR. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you're in fact out there. It's the same screen that I saw before. So, whoops, someone's got their audio up. We can turn that down. Joining me, we've got Shane, Sharon, and Gwen. Hello, guys. How are we doing tonight?
Hi, Rick. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
If you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Are you there?
Nope.
Can you hear me now?
No audio. There we go. Now I got you. Thank you.
Okay. Is that better?
The recording is playing on my computer. Let me just, Katie still doesn't see it. End it and try going live in the group. Oh boy. All right. Let's start from the beginning, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with the tech here.
Not a problem.
Don't worry about it.
Well, our Zoom is working. We know that.
Zoom is working.
Hey, so I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. So I got out of Facebook. I still have everyone on Zoom. What would you like me to do? Wait a minute, say that again. Say it again. Katie,
Yeah.
say it again.
So instead of going live on the Facebook page, do it in the group. So the HMR Diet Community Support.
It says I have to still stop the live stream. It's telling me I'm doing a live stream. So let me stop that.
Something's not. Wait, so you're looking at the Zoom feed, but can you go to the Facebook feed to see the live stream?
Well, I haven't opened or connected to Facebook.
There should be a window open that's where you can see the Facebook live feed.
On Zoom?
No, like on a browser. It should have opened a window in Facebook.
Oh, I think I closed that because of because we weren't going live.
Okay. Yeah, there might be something we have to do on that window. Because that's the Facebook. I don't know if something's going wrong on that page, not the Zoom page, but the Facebook browser.
Uh-huh.
Either way, let's just try going live in the group.
So just step me through that if you could.
Yep. So you hit so end the live feed that you have now.
Okay, so it is live on Facebook. Click.
Yep. And then in a group.
Mm-hmm.
And then type in the HMR diet community.
In a group. Yep. Next.
You typed in
Prepare.
HMR diet community.
I
support?
did. Yeah. Preparing live
Okay.
stream preview.
So this is in a browser window that pops up.
It is. It says go live on Facebook. I've got the little go live button on the bottom left. I've got the title, etc.
All right, let's try the group then. Maybe there's something wrong with the page.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So you're good?
I'm just great. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Text me. Let me know.
I will.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. We're gonna hopefully this third time's gonna be a charm, guys. You guys with me still?
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
ready to roll.
Going live. 3, 2. Setting up your meeting on Facebook, redirecting to the Facebook Live page. I think this is it, guys. Hi, this is Rick from HMR, health coach, longtime health coach. Thank you for watching us here. Joining me are Shane, Sharon, and Gwen. How are we doing tonight? We are live. I just got confirmation from Katie, guys. Woohoo!
Hi guys, how's everybody?
So nice to have you guys here to join us and to our community. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties trying to go live on the public page. Not sure why it didn't go, but we are here and we're glad that you're here. So Sharon and Gwen are here tonight in large part because Shane, really, you sort of lobbied for this and arranged it. So as we're starting here, I'm just wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about why you wanted to invite Sharon and Gwen to join us here on Facebook Live.
Well, sure, Rick. And again, thanks for having me on tonight. But a few weeks ago, West Coast Sharon said hi to me on the live feed and said that I had inspired her a little bit. So I thought it was only fair to bring in some folks that inspired me. So Sharon and I have been in class together many times, and she's just a wonderful example of long-term success with HMR. And then when I heard about Gwen and heard about her story, now she and I have only met virtually so far, but hopefully soon rectify that. But her story was just inspiring as well. So I thought I would bring them along tonight and we could talk to them, get to hear from them. And, you know, the alternative title that we could do for this, Rick, is,
Yeah.
you know, maybe we could do the bald and the beautiful.
I like
ladies
that.
for joining us. So ladies, welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Rick, thanks for hosting.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. We, while I do like that title, it's catchy. We did decide to call this Living My Best Life with HMR. Sharon, I think we have to give you some credit for I think that's sort of a soundbite you used yourself to sort of categorize and describe your experience with HMR. Obviously, when we say that, living my best life with HMR, we're referring to the increased quality of life that people often experience when they make positive lifestyle changes. But I will say best life is sort of very high standard, but I think we would all agree with that. Clearly, there are huge benefits that come from when you undergo the process of developing new, healthier lifestyle habits. It is a game changer. But it does require a lot of focus, a lot of commitment, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. So I think as we're having our discussion here tonight, I'd like to make opportunity to share your own thoughts on this. What does it mean to be living your best life vis-a-vis a healthy lifestyle. And also, given how much work and time and effort it does take, why is it worth it to make that investment? So those are the things that we really want to be unpacking here. All right, let's take a minute and just see who we have joining us here. Well, we've got Pam. Oh boy, we've got our regulars here, Shane. I forget. Anyone remember? Rancho Cucamonga. And then we've also got Cheryl as well, which is really great. So very nice to have people joining us. We also have Sandy, fellow coach manning the feed. So welcome everyone, and thanks again for being with us. Now, given that we've got a group of friends who will be watching, let's just do a quick intro to each of you, Gwen and Sharon. Maybe you guys could just touch upon, what was happening in your life when you decided to join HMR. I mean, something was happening such that you said it's time to make a change, but then also just overview through the conversation, we can talk in more detail about some of the other things. So Gwen, why don't you start us off here?
Well, good evening. And again, it's my pleasure to be with you all this evening and share part of my story. I was getting ready to turn 60 years old. It'll be 7 years next month. And both my husband and I had hit our all-time high as far as weight. We didn't have the energy that we wanted. We did not feel good about ourselves, and we physically did not feel well. So we had a friend who was in the HMR program here in Louisville, and he was reaping great rewards and was very successful, spoke highly of HMR, and we decided we would go to an orientation. And before the evening was out, we had committed and went through over a year in the program with great success. We each lost 50 pounds. And then after about a year and a half, went out on our own. And we'll talk more about my return visits when I need little tune-ups every now and then, but I'll punt it to Sharon at this point.
Great, really great. So Sharon, tell us a little bit about what was happening in your life when you joined HMR, and then what the weight loss experience was like.
Sure. And thanks again for the opportunity to share my journey. I'm passionate about this program, so I'm happy to pass along any kudos I can to anybody else that's going through the same journey with us. But I was working at Baptist Health. I had made a career change after working 39 years at another office, and my coworker and I were sitting in the office one day discussing how overweight we were and how miserable we were. And somebody came up the story with Oprah and all the trainers she had and the food she had. And I kind of mouthed off and said, well, if I had a personal trainer and somebody to tell me what to eat and when to eat it, I could be successful too. Well, lo and behold, about a week later, we get an email company-wide from our wellness team at Baptist offering the HMO program to us. And they offered we had to pay for our food, but they paid for our meetings. They paid for our 13 weeks in the gym and for the trainer and the PA we needed. So I thought, well, maybe I should put my activity and my actions where my mouth was about a week before, saying I could do it if I had the opportunity. So I joined April 7th, 2014, and I lost 70 pounds by December 29th, 2014. And I still come to meetings every Monday night with Lydia here at Milestone. And I still need that accountability, and I love the interaction with other folks. So I think that's been a huge part of my success in maintaining. And I'm sure we can talk further about some other things, but I'm just really happy that I joined HMR. It worked for me, and it's a great program.
Beautiful. Really, what a wonderful success, Sharon. That's so fantastic. I'm just going to quickly say hello to my sister-in-law, Marie. Hi, Marie. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello, David from Seattle. Awesome to be here. Susan A. Quick comment, maybe to sort of wet the whistle here, guys. Bob from Rancho Cucamonga said, I'm 64. I feel better than I did when I was 40. So he has sort of set the bar here already for us. That's just a fabulous comment. So wonderful to hear, Bob. Really, really great. And Teresa, also welcome. Okay, so the rest of this discussion is really going to revolve around a select few questions that we want to ask you, Sharon and Gwen. And I thought it would be great, Shane and I both really thought it would be wonderful if we could ask our audience to really participate along with this, answer these questions as well in the comment section. And I'm going to do my best to really pay attention to the feed to represent any of what you, the audience, shares. And I'll hand this over to you, Shane, so that you can have a conversation with Sharon and Gwen, and I'll just chime in with what people are sharing.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, again, thank you so much for being here tonight with us. You know, we had all participated at the Milestone Clinic. So just a quick shout out to Chuck, Lydia, Christina, you know, former members, Brandon, Jamal, and just the whole staff there at Milestone. They're just amazing folks and really helped us along the way. So, and Joya, can't forget Joya. So ladies, Sharon, we'll start with you if you don't mind. Now, the whole theme of this is living your best life. So folks that are watching now and later on can also comment on what this means to them. But you are getting closer to looking down the road at retirement.
Mhm.
So compared from before to now, how does that equate to living your best life after finding HMR?
Oh my gosh, that's an easy answer. I was not in a good place. I'm 4'9" and I weighed 199 and a half. So I was a half a pound away from 200 pounds. And I couldn't even walk around the track at Milestone the very first time I walked in here. But when I joined HMR, I was, let me think, how old was I? Because it was 20, I was 61 and I knew I was going to be retiring in about, I thought at that time 4 years. It ended up being a little bit longer. But at first I was like everybody else. I just wanted to lose weight and look better in my clothes and wear smaller jeans. But it wasn't too long till I was in the program and I started seeing how I felt and how much better I felt. And I remember about 3 months into the program, our health educator at the time asked us, went around the room and said, "Why are you here? Why do you do this?" And I said, "You know, I've worked 40 plus years of my life and I've worked hard. And when I retire, I want to be able to live hard and have fun and be able to be active and do the things I want to do and not be inhibited by health." And I retired when I was 67. I'll be retired 2 years in January. And I can honestly say I won because I have active, I feel good, I can do what I want when I want to do it. And it's just miraculous because I had very little energy before.
That's awesome. Well, while we're on that subject, living my best life involves this one right here. So this is one of the reasons that I started. And you know, if you watch the previous videos, you'll hear all about that. But so Gwen, what about you? So from before, you said you and your husband were both at your largest, if you put it that way. What does that mean from then until now for you and living your best life?
I had just retired when I embarked on the HMR journey. My husband was not retired at the time, and we have 3 grown children, twin daughters and a son, and grandchildren were starting to come. We wanted to be able to enjoy them to the fullest. We wanted to be able to get on the floor and play with them. We now have 7 grandchildren, ages 10 and under, and we can not keep up with them, but do
That's a lot of grandchildren.
a lot. But we can surely, we have much more energy than we would have had we not embarked on the HMR journey. We feel better physically, emotionally. We approach this very holistically, if you will. And that's one of the beauties of the HMR program. It's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet per se. It focuses again on your whole person. And it's been a gift to us, and we've been happy and proud to recommend it to quite a few other friends who have been as successful and even more successful than we as far as weight loss, and it's changed their lives as well. So we will be eternally grateful.
That's awesome. So those of you watching, if this is week 1 and you had some success with the program, or if you're a veteran and have had some success with the program, post it in the comments. Let us know how you're doing, and your comments might inspire other people as well. So Sharon, you are at milestone right now because you just finished working out. So at your largest, at your previous weight, let's say Sharon A, would you have been at the gym? Would you have been working out? Would you have, had the friends that you have made there at the gym?
No, absolutely not. I was really active. I danced all my life. I did tap and ballet and jazz and studied dance for like 20 years. So I was really physically fit, but I honestly started gaining weight shortly after grade school and shortly after high school and college. And I would say that I really started having a weight problem about age 25 to 28. And by the time I was 34, 35, was really overweight. And I was still 50 pounds less than what I weighed when I came into HMR. So by the time I got to HMR, it was really overwhelming. And as I said, the first time we worked out as part of our PA with the Baptist group, we had some training sessions with our program. And the first time I worked out, I couldn't even walk one lap around the track here at Milestone. And since then, I should have brought it as a show and tell, but I've done so many 5Ks and 10Ks and mini marathons, and I walk. I'm a walker and a runner and a walker, but mainly a walker. And I kept all my t-shirts and put it on a t-shirt quilt, and it's queen size, and I call it my victory quilt because I look at that and I see the hundreds of miles that are on that would never have happened had I not come to HMR.
Those are fantastic mementos from your hard work and victories. Really, those are non-scale victories in my book. But so Gwen, from your previous life to now, are there any major changes? The activity-wise, clothing-wise, anything that you want to share?
Absolutely. I did not like to exercise. And when my husband and I went to the introductory informational orientation session at Milestone, and they talked about the PA that we would embark on, I thought, well, this just will not happen. And I came to the realization very quickly on that if I didn't exercise on a given day, the day just didn't seem right. I didn't feel as chipper. I didn't have the energy level that I needed. As I said, grandbabies were starting to come, and not only was I helping with them, but I had an elderly dad who was with us till he was 97. I was in a caregiving role to some extent there. My husband had some orthopedic issues, and I was helping there, and I needed to be at the top of my game. And the exercise, the release of the endorphins, it all made a huge, huge difference. And I'm a walker like Lydia, and I hope to do a 5 or 10K maybe in the spring. It's a far-ranging goal, but I now love exercise, and I never thought those words would come out of this mouth.
So let me back up to one point that you made there that it really hits home, I think, and it's kind of gone along with some of the previous Facebook Lives. By you taking care of you, you became a better caregiver to others.
Absolutely. That is something that is so very true, because in order to take care of others, you have to take care of yourself first. And I knew that. And HMR allowed me the tools.
See, I feel the same way. At my largest, at 352 pounds, I wasn't a good husband. I wasn't a good father. I'm still the same guy, but I'm able to do so much more now. So I wasn't the best me I could be for them and for other people. So, they've made that point in previous Facebook Lives recently that people felt that they were being selfish by self-maintaining and self-care. But you just brought that up beautifully, that you have to take care of yourself to be able to take care of others. And you were thrust into that primary caregiver role, and you were able to handle it. So kudos for that. So I'm not sure if we've lost Rick.
Nope, I am listening. I am
All right.
actually, you guys can't tell because you're seeing me live on the Zoom, but on the Facebook feed, I am frozen with a rather sleepy look on my face.
Well, you
That's what
you
we
disappeared.
I
You
just want
disappeared from my
everyone to
screen.
know
So
out there that, well, first of all, I'm awake and I'm hanging on every word. So very good. I also just want to reinforce some of the comments, guys, from the feed. Just
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome. What great stories. Awesome ladies. Just so many kudos to both of you for the work that you've done. From Dana, yes, Gwen, motivation comes after action. Pam just said, well said, Shane. Really, really good. And a lot of likes when your daughter showed up there, of course. I'll also say that Pam said, concurring with our title, yes, I'm living my best life with HMR. So fantastic. And then one other thing I would just share, Bob corrected his previous post where he said he is 64 and feels better than when he was 40. He said, correction, I'm actually 63.
That's a bonus.
Look at this, the lifestyle changes. It can actually turn back the clock. Isn't that amazing? I'll keep looking at the feed, Shane, continue.
All right. So ladies, you kind of got over the hump of living a weird lifestyle. So you've been doing this, you've been practicing for quite some time. Sharon, I know you well enough to know that you don't use that much HMR product at this point. You're on autopilot. Gwen and myself, I believe we both kind of do a hybrid, where we're phase 2, sometimes we're phase 1, and have melded that into our lives. So Sharon, I know that PA plays a huge part in your life. And I think that PA has unlocked a lot of things in your life. So what are some of the things that you've really enjoyed post-retirement that HMR helped you really be able to enjoy better or more of?
Well, obviously my activity level, I just feel better all the way around. I mean, it doesn't matter whether I'm in the gym or just doing daily stuff at home and cleaning and whatever. It's just, I just feel physically better. But I think not just focusing on the physical aspect of it, but psychologically and mentally, I just am in a healthier spot. When I was so overweight, I didn't want to get my picture taken with anybody else. I was always the one saying, oh, gather up and I'll take the picture. And I don't know, I didn't particularly like myself. And I'm pretty much of an extrovert and I like to have a good time, but I would go out and I would be so tired before everybody else was. So, but since I've retired, I've been maintaining now for, since 2014. So almost, it'll be 6 years, December 29th. But I just I don't even think about whether I can do something. It's just, okay, when can I get this? When can I get to do this? It's because I know I can do it. I just need to schedule the activity. And of course, this year's been trying with COVID and we've had to cancel a lot of stuff. And to Gwen's point about the 5Ks, I mean, I've missed that because we were doing something just about every weekend with my group of friends. But I met cherished people through this program that have trained with me and spent a lot of time with me. And so I like to say I may have lost 70 pounds, but if I added all their weights together, I probably gained more than that back in friendship. So that was awesome.
That's awesome. Well said. And Sharon, you've survived a lot of road trips and travel and cruises and, doing your phase 2 and beyond program. So the education that you got and the time that you spent getting that education at the clinic and, during your research, I mean, it's really embedded itself in you to be able to maintain. So how's it going with your maintenance?
I mean, it's really good. I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy. I think sometimes maintaining, I think, is as hard as losing the weight. especially in phase one, it seemed like it comes off so quickly. And I stayed in phase one for quite a while before I transitioned over, and I transitioned very slowly. And then when I got into phase two, and like you said, I don't do a lot of the HMR products anymore, but I still had to stop and really think about, and I think I worried about it more than I really needed to. But I think that little bit of fear also keeps you a little bit truer to keeping your environment clean and doing what you're supposed to do. But I think if anything, I've gained confidence in that being able to maintain, and I've maintained that 70 pounds within about 5 pounds, give or take.
That's
So
awesome.
I feel very
Fantastic.
fortunate with that. Yeah. And I think since I've been able to maintain it, I feel like I've finally found my phase two box. Everybody's going to have their own phase two box that they're comfortable with and their body reacts to. And I have found mine. And if I consistently do it, then I can maintain.
That's awesome. Yeah, my phase two box doesn't include much grains at all. I'm more of a protein and vegetables person. So, Gwen, I wanted to ask you, you and your husband both had great success in phase one. Is that correct?
Yes, we never went outside the box one time
Okay.
because we knew if we did, that was not going to maximize our success.
So, Sharon, how was your phase one box?
Very successful. I like to say I lost 30 pounds in phase one and 40 in phase two, but I have to kind of clarify that a bit, because even though I was officially in phase two, I was maybe doing a lean protein a week or two, and I was still pretty much following phase one other than that. But I'm like Gwen, I never had one thing that I wasn't supposed to have. And I think I did that I don't think I really ever really cheated and had a bite of anything for about 1.5 years or 2 years. And it sounds weird, but it's not. And I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong or right. I had just learned to eat a different way, and that was my new normal. So it just became a habit.
So what I'm hearing is to have great success in phase one, you need to really have a tight phase one box.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's what I did, and the weight coming off quickly was such a big part of continuing. If the weight had only come off really slowly, if I had not done the box as tight as I did and done the minimums and made sure that I at least got my minimums in per day, then I don't know if I would have stuck with it. It would have been another diet program at that point. So I'm sure that some of our viewers out there have the same thought in their head. It's like, well, I'm just getting started with this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with it. Well, you've got 3 examples of, I've been in it for 3 years, and the ladies have both been in it for how long a piece now?
Almost 7.
Okay.
Mine will be 7 in April.
7 years.
The 2 ladies are maintaining 100-pound weight loss between the 2 of them. Let that sink in. The ladies, they're maintaining 100-pound weight loss between the 2 of them for that length of time. So you have to give the program a little bit of time to work. But, the faster the weight comes off depends on how tight your box is. So, you have to pay attention to that. So, Gwen, we're going to start with you on this question. Rick, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let me just interject and just welcome a few other
Sure.
people. Jane,
Let's hear it.
welcome. Future co-host has just joined us. Laura.
Who was that?
Karen, that is Gina from one of our local HMR program here in Massachusetts. Lydia and Dick. Now, to the point that you just said, people who are newer in the program, Shane, and are people thinking about making a bigger commitment to this, as everyone here in this conversation has. Dick shared, 5 weeks in, I love this program. I've got 17 pounds off. I've lost over 50 pounds 5 times in my life, gained it back each time. I will absolutely stick around for phase 2, but will make this program, will it make this program different from other programs? I'm hearing some answers as I listen. So maybe we can leave our response to that. The phase 2 part of this plan is such an insurance policy once you've lost the weight. In some ways, we do our best work in phase 2 of the program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Phase 2, I preach that and preach that and preach that to the people I talk to. You have to stay for phase 2. You have to invest yourself as far into phase 2 as you can. So, Gwen, was there a moment, let's say early on in phase 1, when you and your husband looked at each other and go, I get it? The aha moment, so to speak.
Absolutely. Something our health educator said all of a sudden just resonated with us. And we realized we used to live to eat, and then it was eating to live. Neither of us was ever hungry as we embarked on the HMR journey. And I think that's huge because I had done many other programs. And I mean, going back to my late teens, when we all might remember weighing little bits of tuna on a Weight Watchers scale, and you could, uh, well, you were hungry all the time. And it never happened on HMR. And to your point, Shane, the rapid weight loss was such positive reinforcement. And again, not just focusing on the weight loss, but the way we felt. We physically felt so much better. And I remember when all of a sudden my jeans were way too big, and we went out shopping just to get a little bit of clothing, knowing we were going to drop even more weight. But we realized again that this was not a diet. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And it was a complete lifestyle change. And that's what it's been for us.
But the lifestyle change, I mean, that's part of the psychology. And you want to give yourself as much time in phase one as you can to put some distance from those bad habits. And, you said that you lived to eat. That resonates with me completely. I mean, I understand. I get that. So, Sharon, what was your aha moment, so to speak?
Well, that's really a hard question for me because I didn't have an aha moment until about a month ago. So I was 6.5, almost 7 years into this. And I think I had a aha moment when I had lost 50 pounds because I had also done every diet known to man before. And I had lost 25 or 30 pounds before, but boy, did it come back awfully quickly.
And
And
I think a lot of those people out there can,
right.
sympathize with that.
I never call this a diet. I call it a wellness program.
Mhm.
But I think it was really odd because I just kept moving forward. And so when I lost 50 pounds, I thought, ooh, wow, I've lost 50 pounds. So I call that maybe a aha moment. But my aha moment actually came a month ago. It'll be a month Sunday. And it was after the gym had been closed for 3 months for a pandemic, and I was not with my training group. I was not with my trainer. I did not have exercise equipment at home. And to be quite honest, I was terrified because I knew what I had always done in order to maintain my weight. And I mean, I was doing sumo squats with my flower pot on my balcony because it was the heaviest thing I could lift that was a weight. It was a concrete container with begonias in it. But anyway, so
Making it happen, though. You made it happen.
I did. I mean, I improvised a lot and I walked hundreds of miles. But I think my aha moment, like I said, was about a month ago, or it will be a month Monday or Sunday. I weighed and I weigh with my trainer on Sunday once a month. And I had lost 2 pounds, and I have not lost 2 pounds in 2 years because I have been a half a pound, a fourth pound, down one, up to, I just had never truly lost 2 pounds in probably 2 years. And we had a conversation about that. And it just hit me that it was the consistency. And that's my key word now. And I think that hit me because everything was scale focused before, or how much PA, and it was all of it. And I had done all of it during 3 months of a quarantine and a shutdown, just by doing what I always do consistently. I kept my environment clean. I kept my PA up to what I could do. And the scale responded. So I think if I had to say what was my aha moment, it's that I learned that I was stronger than I thought I was during a pandemic. And I didn't put on any weight, and I didn't resort to food. I just stayed on my plan, my phase 2 plan, which works for me.
Let me just say a couple of comments here from Lydia. Yes, Sharon, lift that flower pot. And Gina, now that's problem solving. Really, really good. And you were talking about aha moments, guys. Bob Garrison from Rancho Cucamonga shared his aha moment was when his doctor took him off insulin. And just one other comment that is consistent with what you guys were saying. Pam just threw out an endorsement for more is better. I fought this concept. Once I practiced it, I lost more weight. So fantastic.
Yeah, that was one of the things that threw me for a loop in the HMR plan, was to eat more and still lose weight. I was just like, what? And it works. Absolutely, 100%. Here's 3 living examples of it right here on your screen. So, if you're watching now, if you're watching later, please comment. Let us know that you like what you hear, and see if there's anything that melds with what you've got going on. Rick, are there any new folks joining us, or
yeah, I'm so glad you asked. I just wanted to give a special hello and welcome to one of our regulars who lost track of time, Jennifer. I'm so glad you're here. I was wondering where you were. I haven't heard from Sharon from the West Coast, who you mentioned, Shane. I'm hoping that she was able to make it here tonight as well. Hello to Tanya. Hello to Chris with a K, and also to Tim, who's joined us as well. So very, very good. Excellent.
You talked to David a month or 2 ago. It was shortly after we did our grilling episode. Speaking of grilling episode, please go back and watch some of the previous videos that you'll find also on the community page. And I mean, there's recipes, there's all kinds of, inspiration. There's folks like us, like Gwen and Sharon on there that have stories to tell. So please go back and even comment on the old videos that have been posted.
Great.
Ladies, let's get real for a minute. Let's get real. What happens? What do you do when you just don't want to do it? When you just want to be normal for a moment, like everybody else? What do you do?
It's a good question for the community too, Shane. What do you do? How do you keep it going?
Well, I'll interject and say we are human. And after several years of diligently following the program, we allowed more things into our phase 2 box, and some old habits snuck back in, and we realized we needed to refocus. And our clinic offers, it's about a 5 to 6 week program called a Blitz that is for prior participants, people who have participated in both phase 1 and phase 2. And you go back into a tight phase 1 box, and it works for us. And so I have enrolled in several blitzes these last few years. They seem to be offered about twice a year, and often there's one pre-holiday. I know I did that, I believe, last year. And again, it just allows us to recenter, to refocus, and get us back on track.
So you're saying that even though you went into phase 2, you could still go back and do phase 1 if you wanted to?
Yes.
Awesome. I do that from time to time myself.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Sharon, what about you? When you don't feel like going to the gym, when you don't feel like measuring your proteins, when you don't feel like shopping and what do you do? How do you stay focused?
I mean, I think I try to just remember where I've come from, and I know I never want to go back. And I don't know, when I lay my head on my pillow at night, I much prefer to be able to say, thank you, God, for this healthy day. And I feel good about what I did, and I feel empowered on what I did, versus, oh gosh, that was awful. I'm a little bit ashamed of myself, blah, blah. But having said that, it's going to happen. We are human.
Mhm.
And as much as I can divert my attention sometimes, if I decide I want something I can't have and go take a walk instead, or grab something healthy instead of something that's not healthy. I mean, I'm blessed in that I live alone and my house is so clean. It looks like a rabbit lives there because it's all fruit and veggies and a little lean protein. So if I want to cheat, I literally have to get in my car and go drive and go get something.
So it's
So
an effort.
that,
You have to put
yeah,
effort into cheating.
it's an
Okay.
effort. And by the time you drive and go do that, then, you know, you kind of out of the notion. But I have done it before. But I think the key is that when you do it, I mean, you can feel bad about it. And I mean, I know Brandon was our first health educator I had, and he used to say, acknowledge it, repent, and move on. And I remember that. And I mean, you're going to have those days. I eat stuff sometimes that I'm not supposed to have. But what I try not to do is let it go down a slippery slope into where I don't need to be long term. And I try to either make my next meal, or the next day I start back and say, okay, well, that tasted good and you indulged and I hope you enjoyed it. And I go to the gym, or I eat a piece of lean protein. So I think I just try to keep thinking about where I came from and what my reason for being in HMR was at the first. And that hasn't changed. I mean, I want to be healthy. And I had my physical about a month ago, and it was 2:30 in the afternoon. So I was not one of the first patients. And my physician looked at me and she said, you are my star patient today. And I mean, at my age,
Awesome.
for them to look at you and say, your labs and your weight and your pulse and your, everything was good. And she commented on that and commended me for it. That's what makes, I think about those things when I don't want to do what I'm supposed to do. And most of the time it works. When it doesn't, I eat whatever it is and then I move on.
Shane, if I could interject, a couple of
Absolutely.
people are answering the question, which is wonderful. What do you do to keep going when you're tired and don't want to? You'll love this one, guys. Patty shared, I rewrite my why. It bumps up my PA and gets into a tighter box. We've been saying that. Lots of HMR products, strict limits on other foods. Being stricter helps when I want to give up altogether, which is wonderful. Pam says, I think about my why. I can't go back to 199 pounds and unable to physically function. I'm off 4 medications. I can't and won't go back. And another acknowledgement from Susan. It's inspiring to hear that even the most successful HMR members aren't expecting themselves to be perfect. I love the idea of refocusing once in a while with a blitz. After I get through this crazy stretch at work, I need to do refocusing. So guys, the messaging is landing in a very powerful way for folks. Very nice.
Well, it's life. It's long term. Rick, you and I had that conversation about a year ago on the recorded session of the why. And I think we really dug deep into how important why is, why you get started, why you continue. Why do you want to be healthier? Why do you not want to die in some cases? Like I said, I was in my late 40s at the time and I was morbidly obese and I wanted to be here for my daughter, my family. It just, and I was miserable. So, I mean, those were my big trigger whys. Why? And yeah, I mean, absolutely. Sometimes you have to go back, look at old pictures. I mean, oh my gosh, you guys posted that on the advertisement for this meeting today. And it was like, oh yeah, there's that guy again. But, the guy standing next to him is much prouder. But so Gwen, if we could take just a moment of your time, holidays, we're at the holidays and you have a large family. Okay. Now, does anybody care what you all eat anymore? Honestly?
As I said, we have the 3 adult children, and they know that when they come, of course, they haven't been in our home since March because of the pandemic. But prior to that, and if they were to walk in tomorrow and look in the cabinet, they're going to see a fair amount of HMR entrees. They're going to see canisters of shakes, and they're going to see a pretty clean kitchen food wise. So I think they understand that this is just part of our lifestyle now.
So it may have taken them a little time to adjust to you not eating the way that you used to, but it never, there are some folks in the community that may have issues with the holidays where they're going to be pressured into eating certain foods because Aunt Betty brought her
Right.
casserole,
Right.
different things like that. But you guys are long enough down the road, you and Sharon both, and myself, people really don't care what you eat,
Yeah.
honestly. And so don't don't let that be the big trigger, is Aunt Betty's casserole of some sort or X's super duper chocolate cake that they're going to make and expect you to eat some. It just, as time goes by, people really don't care what's on your plate. If they get what they want and they have what they want, they're fine.
And
They would rather have you there as the social event, whatever it may be, birthday party, wedding, the list goes on and on for holidays. But, you know, people put so much emphasis on the food, but really they would just rather you be there. And like, Gwen was talking about earlier, you got to take care of yourself to take care of others, to be there longer, to attend those events. So
Beautiful.
I will say this, our children have continued to be extremely supportive of us through this journey and proud of us.
that's awesome.
Because they see some of their friends' parents who never darken the door of a gym, who are obese, who, really don't care about the quality of health, and they want us to be around for their children. So we have really received a lot of positive reinforcement from our family. One thing I'd quickly like to say is our first health educator, Joya Gibbons, said something, I guess the first year when we were in phase 2 and coming up on the holidays. And she said, just remember that the events you're going to, you're not going for the food. What is really important about those holidays? And it's being together with loved ones, with friends. So we would eat an entree or bulk up with a shake before we went, and hopefully there would be a good relish tray there and we could eat, celery and carrots and plenty of fresh veggies. And we made it. So
That's awesome. Those are good strategies too, to eat before you go and make sure that you are prepared when you walk into a tempting event like that. So that's awesome, Gwen. Thank you.
Hey, Gwen, Lydia had a particular question. Obviously, your family's very supportive. She wanted to know, how do the grandkids respond to your eating style?
Since they've been around, they've seen Gwenny and Papa drink all these shakes, and they'll say, are you going to eat from that box again? So for them, they didn't know us when we were, eating McDonald's. But no, I think I would like to believe that they're proud in their own little ways, and they certainly love it when we, pre-pandemic could be active and chase them around and enjoy, keeping up with them.
That's great. That's great. I'll just quickly share Shane. Tim had a longer post here, but his last line is great. Talks about if he gets into a rut with eating, may as well be in a healthy rut. Nothing tastes as good as I feel on the program.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Yes, I can totally go with that. Yes. So Rick, I know we're ending the first hour. Are we ready to go into hour 2 and then on to 3?
It's good I ate my healthy meal before this began.
Technically, we did start a little late because we had technical difficulties, but we probably should turn the corner, Shane, I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, I've got one last question for the ladies if they have time. Like I said, we're here at the holidays. 2020 is almost over, thankfully. Fingers crossed that 2021 starts out better and continues better. But how do you all approach not only just the holidays, but, coming up to the new year? Do you have any advice to offer the audience out there for how to end your year? Because, it's national eating season as we start into the holidays, and it's just food, cookies, special stuff everywhere. So How do you all navigate that? Gwen, if you want to go ahead. Sorry.
I personally feel that although we've had so many downsides to the pandemic, there are some silver linings. That's the eternal optimist in me coming out. But we are not going to parties. We are not hosting large meals for the family. So it really has been, again, a benefit to be home as much as we are. I have plenty of time to make the HMR vegetable soup and some other recipes that will keep us on our healthy path. So again, we have plenty of time to exercise. We are both retired, and as I said, we're pretty much staying healthy at home. So for us, the holidays are not going to be as challenging this year as perhaps in years past.
Sharon, what's your advice to the audience out there on how to navigate not only this holiday season, but some of the other holiday seasons you've been through?
Right. Well, obviously, as Gwen said, with the pandemic, I'm not doing parties, and I'm not going to have all the different invites. It's the appetizers that kill you when you're nibbling. But pretending that we didn't have a pandemic and it was going to be a normal holiday season, I think the best thing you can do is plan with a capital P. And by that, I mean that if you're having an event, then have things that you can have at your event, and you don't have to have anything that you don't want to have at your own house. It's your house, your food. So, and I do that at Christmas. I always do Christmas dinner, and there's nothing on the table that I can't have. It's prepared that way, and I get compliments every year. So I guess it's okay. They keep coming back. So I guess it's okay. But going to other people's parties and stuff, I would always try to make sure that I would find the relish tray or find the fresh fruit, or I would always say, hey, well, I'd love to bring something to help for your buffet, and I'd take something that I could have. And then once I had what I could have, I didn't concentrate where the food was to chit chat with people. I went out in the living room where people were sitting on the couch and there was no food around, and we sat and we talked. So you just plan. And if you are there's some things in my phase 2 box that I can literally have now in moderation, but I plan it. I plan so that the day before I don't have something that I really can't have, and then multiply it by the next day and the next day. So I look at my PA and I do extra work at the gym if I think I'm going to have a few more calories. And I try to have less calories the day before, the day after, so that it overall works out. And you're just not putting it like, it's not a deluge. It's not just coming like a snowblower. So
you're not multiplying those calories.
No. And so, I mean, it's plan, and however you need to plan it for your box and your program, your event, but know where you're going, know what you can expect, take something if you need it, and plan so that you're not caught off guard. I think it's when we get someplace and we thought, oh, well, it'll be fine. And you get there and there's nothing there. And then you think, well, I just won't eat. And then you get hungry. And God forbid you have a drink, because when you have one drink, you feel like you're Twiggy and you don't have a weight problem, and then you eat the whole table. So, so plan.
Oh, thank you, ladies. Just if I could speak to the phase 1 folks out there that may be just starting and survived Thanksgiving, heading into Christmas, if you're traveling, overpack with food that you can have. If you're going to take a bag of carrots and celery sticks, take 2. If you're going to take 4 entrees, take 8 entrees. It would just really help you a lot. 2 canisters of the shake mix. Just be over prepared, because you never know what kind of temptations you may run into, whether it be, weather delay where you have to stay in a hotel overnight, or if you've got family that brings Aunt Betty's super duper chocolate cake that you weren't expecting, and it's a temptation. You can always have that shake to knock that out. But surviving the holidays is doable, there's 3 examples here. We talked about, what is it? Coach Jan, I believe. She's got kids that are very active kids, and I've got Emily's here. And, they have stuff in the house that don't fall inside my box. Here's the other part of this. Okay. And I've said this a couple times before, but once in a while, and ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to parent yourself. You have to keep your hand out of the cookie jar. You have to say, no, this is not healthy for me. I'm not going to have it. It's not that I can't have it. It's that I choose not to have it. If you wrap your head around that concept that you can have anything you want, but you're choosing only to have things that are good for you, it'll help you so much down the road. So try to wrap your head around that concept that you're choosing. This is what I'm choosing to do. This is for me. This is for my family. It'll help a lot. So, Rick, do we have any comments before we wrap things up?
Yeah, there's one in particular that I think will really help us to bring this home. We've talked a lot about the benefits of living a healthy lifestyle. So John, thank you for this comment. I'll just tell you, Sandy replied to his comment, John, you're getting us all choked up. And here's what John had to say. My daughter actually broke down into tears after not seeing me for 4 months. I said, what's wrong? And she said, Dad, I'm just so proud of what you've accomplished. And then he said, that's something I will never forget. So that's sort of is a good note to end it on. Again, Sharon, thank you for the soundbite, living my best life with HMR. Sort of the themes that we've tried to cultivate here are that it's worth it. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of planning, as you just said, Sharon, a lot of effort and time, but it is worth it. The return on the investment, it will just keep giving. And I think you guys have done a really good job making that point several times to the community. Sharon and Gwen, you guys are superstars, and it was just a blast preparing for this and working with you, and just look forward to hearing, more good things from you in the future. And Shane, I always say to you, it's just a privilege, brother, working with you as we do in this whole medium. So thank you so much. And thank you to the community for watching us. I'm sorry my image is frozen. And I just want to, again, thank everyone for your time tonight and for helping us get through the technical difficulties. Let us know if this was a conversation you enjoyed. And with that, I think we'll just wish everyone a good week. So everyone, let's say goodbye.
Bye. Happy holidays, everyone.